off by saying I am so sorry that I could not get a Quick Tip Tuesday video out to you guys this week. For some of you, you already know because you follow me on Snapchat, but I'm sure a ton of you either don't follow me on Snapchat or don't have a Snapchat account. So let me just get you guys up to speed on what's been going on with my apartment. Basically, there was a pipe that burst in our small studio apartment right above our heads. So the apartment was not in livable conditions for the past 4 or 5 days. It was really bad, and I already recorded in a really small space, so recording a video was not even a question. I just couldn't do it, so I felt really bad because I couldn't get that video out for that reason. So I hope you guys understand. I will have a video up for you guys next week. I just wanted to address that so you guys know that I didn't forget and know what's going on. I promise you I tried, it was just not even possible. For those of you who saw the photos and videos on my Snapchat, it was pretty bad. But for now, I'm bringing you guys this Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons tutorial. This is a look that I posted on my Instagram. For those of you guys who don't know, I post regular makeup looks on my Instagram page, and if you guys really like them, I create tutorials for them. So again, if you're not following me there, go ahead and give me a follow. This is the exact same look from that photo. I'll post it right here, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Oh, and it's also pouring rain, so you're probably gonna hear a lot of background noise. For some reason, I decided I didn't want to do a voiceover for this video. I just really hate voiceovers. I don't like doing them. I prefer talk-throughs, and I decided to do it not realizing it was pouring rain outside. So if you hear a lot of noise in the background, that's what's happening. Let's jump right into this tutorial. I went ahead and already filled in my brows using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Chocolate. So next up, I'm going to prime my eyes using the Laura Mercier Eye Basics Primer in Linen. I'm just going to use a little bit and pat it in with my fingers, and if I get lazy, I'll use my beauty blender. The first color I'm going to be using from the Chocolate Bonbons palette is Black Currant, and I'm going to pack that onto the center of the lid and then lightly diffuse it out towards the outer edges using a Luxie 213 brush. I've really grown to love the Luxie brushes. They're synthetic and they're just such a great quality for being a synthetic brush. So I'm just really packing this color onto the center of the lid and then lightly feathering it out towards the edges. I'm not really applying color there because I'm going to be going in with a different color. Next, I'm going in with Malted and a Smith 230 brush, and I'm going to apply that color to the inner and outer corners and also start blending it in towards the center of the crease. And then with that same brush, I'm going to pick up the color Almond Truffle and use that to blend out the outer edges of that darker shadow. And I'm actually going to start in the inner corner. You guys know I like to add a little extra color there. For some reason, this color just goes really well with this darker shade. I know when you look at it in the palette, Malted looks like it wouldn't be pretty with the purple, but they all really go well together. And also notice that I didn't use a translucent powder or anything to set the eyeshadow base because I really wanted to intensify the color, and if I had applied something first, it would have diffused the color on the lids. So instead of just blending really softly versus aggressively, because then it would skip, instead of going in little baby steps, I guess you could say, when blending versus going like that so that it doesn't skip. So now I'm going to take a Smith 232 brush and just blend out these shadows. This one doesn't have any additional color, it's just a clean brush. Now that I've done all that blending, I've lost the intensity of the purple shadow on the center of the lid, so I'm going to pick it up again on that same Luxie brush, but this time before packing it on, I'm going to spray it with Mist and Fix by Makeup Forever. And I actually also want to darken up that inner and outer corner, so I'm going to again pick up the color Malted on a Sigma E45 brush and just add a little more color. And again, just blend out the outer edges before moving on to the rest of the skin. I'm gonna leave the eyes here for now and go ahead and work on the skin. For foundation, I'm gonna be using Maybelline's Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. The texture of this foundation actually reminds me a lot of the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint. So I'm excited to try it out. I haven't actually tried it yet, so let's see how it goes. And actually, before I apply this foundation, I'm gonna put a cream highlight onto my skin because this is a matte finish, and you guys know I like a very dewy finish. So for a highlighter, I'm gonna be using my Natasha Denona Cream Shimmer, and I'm just gonna apply that to the high points of the face, exactly like how you would with a powder highlighter, except I'm using a cream first onto the high points. I'm pretty generous with it. I tend to apply a lot. This is just really gonna help bring back that glow when using a matte foundation. And then I'm just gonna press this into the skin with a beauty blender. And now I can go in with the foundation. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand and apply it with that same beauty blender. I hope this is my shade. I don't even think I swatched it or anything like that, so let's see how it goes. It's actually a pretty good match. And this is a very moussey texture, but I'm really intrigued by the fact that it says hydrating, especially for a matte foundation. So far it doesn't feel really dry. It almost looks really dewy. For some reason it's looking really white on camera, but when I'm looking at it right now, it's pretty good match. It's definitely not as yellow as my skin is, so I'm gonna use a lot of bronzer to warm it back up. I'm not actually gonna be using a concealer. I have been loving the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick as concealer. So I'm gonna apply this foundation like you would a concealer. That Maybelline foundation also had a really good coverage, so I feel like I'm looking pretty full coverage right now, even though it all feels really light. And I'm gonna go ahead and set with powder. I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder. Again, thanks to Kathleen Lights. And I'm just gonna use my damp beauty blender to press it into the skin. So once I've set with powder, I always feel pretty pale. So I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up the skin using Hoola bronzer, the actual powder bronzer, not the lip gloss. And I'm gonna apply it using a Smith 112 brush. And sometimes when you use bronzer to contour with, it doesn't come out as sharp as you'd like it to be. So I like to just pick up some powder and drag it down the sides and then dust it off immediately. Don't confuse it for baking. I'm just gonna swipe it downward to create a really chiseled looking cheekbone. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and dust this powder off with that same Smith 112 brush. If it ends up looking too light after I've dusted it off, I just add a little more bronzer. See, right now I feel like it looks a little too white, so I'm just gonna pick up some more of that Hoola bronzer and start from here and then blend up to make up for that color so it doesn't look like a white stripe going across your face. I'm also gonna add some bronzer to the sides of the nose so it doesn't look so white in the center of the face. Don't always think that when you're adding bronzer on the side, you're necessarily contouring your nose. Whenever light hits the face, it creates a natural shadows, which include shadows along the sides of the nose, so you're pretty much just mimicking those shadows. So don't go in with a lot of bronzer, just a tiny bit, just to enhance that natural shadow. I'm using that same Hoola bronzer and a Luxie 182 brush. This is a part of the JD Weighty 180 Glam set. This is the nose perfector, so you can use it for a cream contour or powder contour as well. And for blush, I'm going to be keeping this look pretty monochromatic, which means the eyes, cheeks, and lip all match. It's all pretty similar in tone. So I'm going to be using NYX's Ombre blush in the shade Mauve Me. Mauve Me. I never know how to say that word. And I'm going to apply it with that same Smith 112 brush. And for a highlight, I'm using Anastasia's So Hollywood Illuminator and a Luxie 522 brush. Now I'm going to go back and finish the eyes. I'm going to start by applying Almond Truffle to the lower lash line using that same Sigma E45 brush I was using earlier. And with a Sigma E21 brush, which is a really tiny smudge brush, I'm going to push the shadow Malted up into the lower lash line. And I'm mostly going to focus this color on the outer edge, so right here, and then slowly blend it forward. So you want most of the color to be on the outer V, you don't want to bring it too far in. And I'm again picking up the Sigma E45 brush and just blending these two shadows on the lower lash line. And in the original photo of this look, I was wearing a really metallic purple liner, which is what I'm gonna do now. But if you wanna keep the look a little more wearable, feel free to use a black liner instead of the purple. I'm using Maybelline's Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil in the shade Polished Amethyst. And I'm actually going in with a little extra liner right here in this pocket, and then just smudging it out. And I'm also gonna tightline with this liner. I'm going to be setting my brows in place with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel and also applying some mascara to the lower and upper lashes before going in with false lashes. I'm using Benefit's Roller Lash, and then the lashes I'm going to be applying are by Velour in the style Carli Lash. To finish off the look, I'm going to be applying the same lip I had on in the photo, which was NYX's Lingerie liquid lipstick in the shade Embellishment. It's a really soft purple, so if you guys don't feel comfortable wearing purple eyeshadow and purple lipstick, feel free to swap this lip color out for something that's really nude. I feel like a nude lipstick would go best with this purple smoky eye. Alright guys, that completes this tutorial. Again, I just wanted to give you guys a big thank you for hanging in there through my lack of videos because of the construction happening in my apartment. Thank you for always supporting me. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe. So I see you in the next one. Bye guys.